Two of my favorite comic shops in Georgia are the two locations of Galactic Quest in Lawrenceville and Buford. These shops scored very high on my original shop rubric, tied only with Dr. Nose in Marietta and the newly renovated Sentinel Comics in Columbus. On top of having some of the coolest artifacts of the industry and a highly motivated owner, Galactic Quest apparently draws more people than any other comic shop to Free Comic Book Day. In 2024, they estimated just under 10,000 people and just at the Lawrenceville location. So this year, I had to check it out for myself. Now, it's misleading to say that almost 10,000 people came to the comic shop in one day. In Lawrenceville, Free Comic Book Day is a city-wide event involving all the businesses in the town square and quite a few pop-up tents, food trucks, and even bounce houses. At one point, while I was there this year, a group of kids from the School of Rock was playing Bring Me to Life by Evanescence, while only a few feet away, another kid was in the fight of his life against a super nerd while his parents looked on with glee. And that was pretty sick. Although quite a few people probably came to the event for the non-comic related festivities, it was clear that Galactic Quest was the center of attention. I arrived more than half an hour late because clocks don't make sense to me or something, I don't know, to find a line going down the front of the building and all the way down the side. I stood in line at Dr. Nose last year to meet Mark Bagley, and while that line was probably this long before they opened, I don't think that line stayed this long throughout the day. And at Galactic Quest, I came back to check after the shop had been open for more than 4 hours, and the line was still this long. That's crazy. Yes, part of the reason it stayed long is because they were limiting how many people could come in at a time, but honestly, wouldn't you be annoyed if you were trying to shop and it was more full than this? The free comics were all the way at the back with plenty of copies for everybody. Kyle told me that they have literally ordered a ton of free comics to give away, and I'm sure this year was no different. The Lawrenceville location did not have any special sales going on that I knew of, but Kyle had brought in some of his super rare gold and silver age books, like these Action Comics and Wonder Woman issues I've shown you before, and of course Mr. Oldbuck, and this beautiful Frazetta cover. The shop was buzzing with excitement all day long, and even when it rained in the afternoon, people were still waiting to come in. I also stopped by the Buford location because they had a ton of dollar bins as well as an artist alley. One of the coolest artists was making these collages out of comics, Pokemon cards, and other assorted print media. I dug through the dollar bins for a long time and ended up buying way more than I thought I would, which was foolish of me because then I went to Sentinel Comics and spent way more than I thought I would, and then I went to Massachusetts and spent way more than I thought I would, and then I went to Motor City, and I also have Heroes Con coming up next month. But an excellent time was had by all. A great deal of kids got a bunch of free books, and hopefully a few of them will become avid readers. Comics taught me to enjoy reading, and reading showed me the magic in life, so I consider events like Free Comic Book Day to be of the utmost importance. So what you're probably wondering is, how many people showed up? Was it actually the most populated Free Comic Book Day event in the country? And honestly, I have no idea. Most shops don't bother putting a number on how many people show up, and even fewer shops will actually share that number if they have one. What I do know is that on May 3rd, 2025, more than 12,000 people showed up to a 9-block area in Lawrenceville where this event took place. And that information came from Placer.ai, which uses geolocation data to see about how many phones were in an area over a span of time. So when you consider the dozens, maybe hundreds of kids who showed up and don't have phones, or the people who were doing totally unrelated things a few blocks away, or the people who showed up to the main event but didn't actually go into the comic shop, and plenty of other factors, then that 12,000 starts to look a little bit fuzzy. But it's the largest turnout I've ever seen at a Free Comic Book Day, and I would encourage anybody to try to prove that there was a bigger Free Comic Book Day event anywhere else. So that was Free Comic Book Day at Galactic Quest. I felt like I should have interviewed more people who were waiting in line, maybe built up some more hype around it, but I was feeling really antisocial that day. I'm also pretty shy when I don't have a camera guy, which is why I try so hard to have a camera guy whenever I go on my state tours. And speaking of which, I haven't started editing every comic shop in Massachusetts yet, but as soon as I clear the pipeline of all these other videos that I have footage for, I will spend every waking second working on it. So happy belated Free Comic Book Day. Keep supporting your local comic shop. Until next time, I'm Kurt Williams, and you are somebody else.